Hi everyone, this is Vernon again, sharing another upload to First Generation Transform, the channel that is dedicated to helping first generation candidate attorneys with tools, understandings, and approaches that you can use in your transition and also smoother integration into the corporate world. Today, I want to talk about the first few months of articles and also about seemingly innocent phenomenon that often exerts itself quite forcefully at this time. I also want to discuss the shocking effects that this, has on some people. So stick to the end of this video so that, you don't go in blindly and innocently fall into the same trap, like I did. But before we get to the topic, one of the subscribers sent me an email basically asking me whether I could upload a video with regards to, um, you know, um, partners, your superiors, the one who's kind of looking after you, your principal, basically. An upload with regards to them and how they can better, look after you, basically, and help you, and make conditions better, basically, for you to function more optimally, in the environment that's not easy already. Unfortunately, obviously, that's not what this channel is about. But I do want to say that it is actually quite sad that there are still, a few, partners and directors and some of your principals who don't really know how to really manage a CA, in terms of how to give proper instructions, and also sometimes most importantly how to give proper feedback, in a way that it doesn't demoralize, the CA. Also, some superiors just don't know how to manage, a CA's motivation, and that, that human aspect, at this very vulnerable time for a CA. A lot of superiors don't know how to do that yet, and that's part of the reason why I'm obviously, have this channel and I'm uploading, these videos so that, so that you just have a little bit more resources, at this difficult time and going over into, into corporate. Yeah, back to today's topic. What is this seemingly innocent phenomenon that exerts itself at the first few months of articles? Well, let me give you the scenario that typically happens. So you're still on university and you're looking for articles. You apply and you wait and you wait. And then finally, that call comes through, and you got articles and you're excited. You go home, go tell Gogo, I got the job. It's very exciting times. But there's something else that also happens. It happened for me. It might not necessarily happen for you, and this is actually quite subtle. So what happened for me was going in, and for other people as well. You go in, or before you go in, you say, you know what, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to put my best foot forward. I'm going to work hard, and I'm going to go in and make an impression. Sound familiar? Now here's the thing. Wanting to make an impression is beautiful. It's fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But in this video, I just want to sensitize you to the fact that making an impression does come with an implication. The implication is at times frustration, stress, anger, humiliation, and for me, at times it was tears as well. So what am I talking about? Well, stay tuned to this video so that, so that I can show you how this actually works. So let me paint this picture for you and follow along, because this is quite subtle and some people don't think about it this way. Here's the thing. When you are on university or come from university, you come from an environment where your ability to influence outcome is relatively predictable as a generalization. In other words, if you work hard and really apply yourself to your studies, your results are going to be, decent. That makes sense, right? As a generalization. On the flip side, if you don't work hard and don't apply yourself, then your, results aren't going to be, as in, to the standard that you would appreciate. And this is, barring the instances where you've been sick and those instances. But basically, your ability to influence your results, your outcome is kind of quite high. And what this also means, actually, and this is something that some people don't think about, but what this also means is that your level of self sufficiency and your level of autonomy is actually quite high. It matures quite fast. It's not as mature for the juniors coming in, obviously, because they haven't integrated that well yet. Obviously, the first years, they haven't integrated that yet. But if you are nicely integrated, then, your level of self-sufficiency and autonomy starts building, And for some people, especially for those who do very well, it starts becoming, its level of healthiness is quite high. Its level of maturity actually does go up quite high. Now, here's the thing. When you make, sorry guys, this is the real world. But here's the thing. When you make your transition over into corporate, your articles, or maybe not for articles, maybe, you're just going to go and work. But for articles as a generalization, when you go over, you are now going into an environment where you have not been before. And you're obviously doing VAC work is not doing articles, because doing VAC work, comparatively speaking, is like wetting your feet, right? So you're now going into an environment where you haven't been before. You don't know all the processes yet. You don't know everyone, you don't know who to ask for help yet. You don't know where all the resources are, or who all the people are who have got, the resources that you need. You don't have all these things yet, or you don't know where they are. And also, as a generalization, your turnaround time on handing in instructions, on handing in memos, on handing in, like emails, your turnaround time is going to be very slow at the beginning. But here's the thing. And this is what I want to alert you to. When you make your transition, remember this healthy sense of self-sufficiency and this healthy sense of autonomy. When you make your transition over into corporate, it's not as if your sense of autonomy and sense of self-sufficiency dies out. It's not like ESCOM where the lights are put off. It's not like that. Your sense of autonomy and your sense of self-sufficiency going over is still very much healthy, alive, and kicking. And it's only natural for you to want to go in guns blazing and wanting to make an impression. But we have a little bit of a problem, right? I know some of you can follow along. But now we've got a little bit of a problem, right? Because now you are now in an environment where your level of self-sufficiency and your level of autonomy can't express itself fully. Because the environment just does not allow for it. You understand what I mean? So here's the question. What do you think? What do you think happens is going to happen now when you get instructions and you don't know what to do, when you get instructions and you're trying to figure things out longer than what you would have liked, when you get draft upon draft back with scribbles saying, what the hell is this? When you have draft after draft of email coming back, also asking, like, just like fix this thing. So, what do you think happens under those conditions? No. If you're in articles, you know exactly what I'm talking about now. You are going to question your ability. You'll question your self-worth at this time. And also something else that happens is you are going to be saying some very interesting things to yourself. Like, why can't I figure this out? I'm supposed to figure this out. Other people can probably figure this out. What's wrong with me? I should have been able to figure this out by now. People are probably, talking about me. What are some of the things you are saying to yourself, if you are in articles now and you're finding yourself under these conditions? Like, because this is some of the stuff that I was saying to myself. This is all of the crazy shit I was telling myself, under these conditions. So you can only now imagine how this will make you feel, right? So if you're still in law school and you don't know yet, I can tell you, it's going to make your stress level shoot straight through the roof. It is going to mean frustration, anger, humiliation, and for a lot of people, like it was for me, tears as well. And it's not just that you're going to be humiliated. It's going to be at times that you're angry about your humiliation or humiliated about your humiliation. It stacks as well, which makes things even worse. And it's going to mean sleepless nights at times. And it's also going to mean, at times dreading going to the office, Like, I know what I'm talking about, and some of you might know what I'm talking about as well if you are in, doing your articles now. So here's the question. Can something be done about this? Can something be done to help mitigate, especially this very vulnerable time for you? Is there something that you can do to help mitigate this? Yeah, of course there is. Of course there is. And that's why we're here. That's why I'm doing this, to share. Oh yeah, just before we wrap up, does this now mean that you can't go in, guns blazing, or you can't go in saying, look, I'm going to do my best, or I'm going to want to make an impression, I'm going to want to put my best foot forward? Does it mean this? Does it mean that you can't do that? Of course not. That's not what this video is about. What this video is about simply is alerting you to the fact that there's an implication involved in relation, and that you need to be sensitized about this, and also need to be helped with regards to how to better manage this part of things. So that's what this is about. So if you haven't thought about this in this way yet, and if you find this interesting and like it, then please like this video, because I like this video, and that's why I'm sharing this video. So if that's the case with you as well, share it and please subscribe. So I look forward to seeing you in part 2, where I will be giving you my approach with regards to what we can do to help mitigate, this very difficult time. So see you in part 2.